unmute her microphone, and she's kindly agreed to give us a brief interactive session followed by question and answers. All over to you, Dolan and Palak.
Thank you so much, Ranvir. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. And my name is Dolan, as Ranvir has already introduced me. So I am the country advisor for King's College London. And my colleague Palak is with me. So both of us are here to kind of help you out with some information and some answers to any questions that you may have. So what I'll do is I'll start with a very brief presentation on King's. It's just about 10 minutes or so, and then maybe we could dedicate the rest of the session to question answers. All right. So I am assuming that the attendees are both are looking for postgraduate courses as well as undergraduate.
Yes. We have majority are undergraduate and about 20% are postgraduate.
Okay, so just let me share my screen. Just bear with me. Yeah?
Yes, we'll just check everything's working.
Right, so you can see my screen now?
Yes, now we can. If you can just maximize it, that'll be great.
Is that all right?
Yes, that's perfect.
Fantastic. All right. So, so let me tell you what makes King's so sought after, right? So King's is a university with a tremendous legacy. So it was founded by King George IV and the Duke of Wellington, the then Prime Minister, in 1829. So quite a few years back, about almost 200 years. So our age makes us the fourth oldest university in England after Oxford, Cambridge, and UCL. We do have an impressive alumni with now actually 13 Nobel Prize winners. This year's Nobel Prize for Medicine has also been awarded to King's alumnus. We've had inventors, heads of states, the royal family, even Olympic medalists. So you may be aware that the structure of the DNA was discovered by Rosalind Franklin, but that happened at King's. Now, King's is also part of the Russell Group, which is an elite group of research universities in the UK. So when students study in a research-strong university like King's, they develop skills that are globally sought after by employers and organizations. So we are into cutting-edge research, for example, research into 5G technology. So all of you have 4G in your phones. Very soon you'll be having 5G, and maybe 6G also is not far away. So King's has had a pretty significant contribution in this area. Now, our courses are of high quality. We have award-winning courses, high-ranked courses. We have unique courses. That means it is offered possibly only by King's in the UK or even in the world. So we teach courses which are interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary, meaning that they, the subjects we cover subjects across different areas. Now, they include, of course, the latest information in that subject area, because they are taught by academics who may be doing the latest research in that area, or may have written a book on that topic, which are followed by students world over. Now, King's is in the top category of universities. So globally as well as in the UK. So it has attractive rankings. It is top 31 in the world, top 7 in the UK, top 3 in London, as per the QS World University rankings. Now, this is where we are located. So I would say we have a perfect location. So our wonderful location also makes us very popular. We are located right in central London with 4 of our 5 campuses in the heart of the city and one a little south of central London. That that picture on the lower right hand corner is the fifth campus, which is slightly south of central London. So from the picture here, where all the red boxes are King's campuses, or they are our libraries or hospitals, and the blue boxes, or maybe they are purple, purple boxes are institutions of importance, right? So you get a sense that we're literally surrounded by the very best that London has to offer to the world, with the Parliament House, the Royal Courts of Justice, the largest biomedical research center, the corporate sector, the banking sector, the think tanks, museums, you name it, it's all there. So it's not just that we are like close to these institutions, we also have connections, meaningful connections with quite a few of them. So London also is an amazing city. You know, it has been voted the best student city in the world, not once but twice. So student city means that it is a friendly city, a very safe city for students, and for King students, opportunities and resources are available right at the doorstep. So that's useful, because as an international student, as an Indian student in a foreign country, you really need to have access to all those wonderful opportunities. Now, at King's, you can also do things beyond the courses, beyond the classroom. So let me just check the next slide. Okay, so this is our this is our Strand campus, where social sciences, arts and humanities, law are taught, and also computer science and engineering are also taught in this campus. And this is our Guy's campus, where medical sciences, dentistry, and some life sciences are taught. Now, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the opportunities that are beyond the classroom. So we do have, for our undergrad students, we do have internships in London as well as outside of the UK, in US, China, Australia, Colombia, South Africa, for certain courses. And then UG students can also study abroad. So depending on your course, you can study abroad for a semester or for the whole year. So you study in another prestigious institution in another country, and gain, wonderful and important, valuable experiences. So all these are great experiences to kind of broaden your horizon and mature your perspectives. Again, all these will come will be very handy when you are looking for your jobs. Now, for postgrad students, there are internships opportunities, but mostly they are done after the course is over, because it's a one-year program in the UK. Right. So let's carry on. So we have over 175 different courses at both the levels, undergrad and postgrad. So you can see, I mean, the slide contains very few of them, because it's obviously not possible to have everything here. So we have kind of segregated it into 5 groups of subjects for easy viewing in the slide. So from your business management to health to politics to social sciences, arts and humanities, medicine, engineering, physics. It's quite a range that we cover. We actually have 9 faculties, and we teach various courses under them. So the subject groups are what you see on the slide. Now, let's look at some postgraduate courses. Again, we have 175 plus courses at the postgraduate level as well. Excuse me. Again, quite a range from political sciences to law, management, and so on. Okay? So do have a look in our website for the full details of all the courses that are there, and go into the depths of the courses, look at the modules, see what the course is all about, the objective of the course, and the content of the course. Why is it useful to do that course, right? So where entry criteria is concerned, for undergrads, we accept the A levels, the IB, and IC, CBSE, right? The state boards, we do not accept for direct year 1 entry. They would have to do a foundation year. So where A levels are concerned, we are mostly, most of our courses we ask for either A star, AA, or 3 A's. Some courses we ask for 2 A's and a B, and even fewer courses we ask for A, B, B. There could be subject specific requirements as well, right? I'll just focus on the subject requirements in a bit. Now, where IB is concerned, we ask for 35 overall for almost 99% of our subjects. There are 1 or 2 subjects here and there where we ask for 34, overall 34. But there are HL requirements. So HL requirements, we ask for some of our courses 766 at the HL, some could be 666, some could be 665 even, right? For ISC, CBSC, we ask for 90% overall for most of our subjects. Some we ask for 85% overall, some we ask for 80. Okay? Now, where subject-specific requirements are concerned, if there is a subject-specific requirement, for example, if you want to study economics, then maths is a requirement. It's compulsory. You have to have maths. So for A levels, we will ask for an A in maths. For IB, we will ask for 6 in the HL in maths. And for CBSE, ISC, we will ask for 85% in maths. Okay. Similarly, for psychology, we ask for either any of the sciences, either you have a biology or a chemistry or a physics, yeah, or a maths. So for A levels, we would ask for A in either of these. So let's say you have, out of these, you have only maths. So we will ask for A in maths. For IB, we will ask for, again, let's say you are, of the science options, you're just taking maths. We will ask for an A in maths, as a 6 in maths. Now, IB has started the A and the AI version of maths. So apart from physics, mathematics, and engineering courses, if we ask for maths, then we are okay with either AA or AI in maths, right? So where psychology is concerned, you have maths. Whether you do AA or AI, we are happy with both, but you need to have a 6 in that at HL level. Okay. So where CBSE and ISC is concerned, we will ask for maths at 85%. So overall, 90%, let's say for economics, and 85% in maths for economics. Okay. Right. So for A levels and IB, further English test is usually not required. Okay. For ISC students, if you have an 85% in some subjects and 80% in some subjects, then the English is, further English test is not required. But for CBSE students, we would require an English test no matter what the subject you are applying to. So we accept any one of the three English tests, the IELTS, TOEFL, and the PTE. Either of them are fine. So there are specific scores that we would ask for. Let's say in IELTS, we can ask for a 7 overall, 6.5 in each section, right? If we ask for that, then you have to get that. You have to get those scores. Even if one subsection, if you're asking for 6.5, let's say in speaking, and you'll end up with a 6, but your overall is 7.5, where we're asking for 7, it will still not work. You have to at least get the scores that we have asked for, right? So for undergrads, you apply through the UCAS. I think more or less everybody's aware of it, so I won't really dwell too much on that. 5 choices, 1 application, 1 UCAS essay. There's an application deadline, 15th of Jan, for all courses apart from medicine. Medicine has a 15th of October deadline. There's an application fee, and so on, right? So what do we look for in when we are assessing applications? Very simple. We look for predicted grades. So you'll be in your 12th when you are applying. You will not have your final grades. So we will rely on the predicted scores. And the predicted scores must match our entry requirement. So if you're asking for, let's say you are applying for business management, and we ask for a 766 in the higher levels for IB and an overall 35, and then you have to match that requirement, okay, through the predicted scores. So that tells us that we want to assess whether you are suitably qualified for this program. Then we assess the personal statement, very important. We want to see a genuine enthusiasm for the subject. That means you are engaged with the subject, you pursue the subject beyond your curriculum, and so on and so forth. Now we also see the 10th scores. We want to see, in some cases where you have GCSEs, we have a requirement of, let's say, a maths GCSE 6 or a B, right? For example, for psychology, we require that if you are doing GCSEs. If not, then we will not ask for anything. So we also ask for a reference. So obviously, a reference is from your counselor or a principal or teacher from your school, only one. So you need to really do well and impress your teachers and counselors, whoever is going to write that reference, and then you'll get a good one. You'll get a good reference, which will help us to assess you better, right? So maybe he or she can talk about your strengths and the skills that you have, the competencies that you have. Yeah, maybe you have stood first in class, so the referee can endorse that, or maybe you have won some award, or maybe you've done a fantastic project, right? So all those things we can see in a reference if the referee writes about those things. Now, law and medicine require aptitude tests. So law requires LNAT and UCAT. Medicine requires UCAT. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. So law requires LNAT and medicine requires UCAT. Okay? So whenever there are aptitude tests, those aptitude tests become really, really important, all right? So please prepare very well for LNAT if you're looking to study an LLB program at King's. And of course, medicine is super competitive. Medicine also requires some work experience, in a medical environment or in a clinical environment, right? And also there are interviews for medicine. So very, very few courses at King's ask for for interviews. Medicine is one of them, and some nursing courses here and there require, and dentistry also requires interviews. Okay. Where postgrad students are concerned, well, it's again it's quite a simple process really. So what we do is we look at the overall score achieved in degree, right? So there is no additional test like a GRE, GMAT, or anything else. So it's entirely what you do in your degree, in your university or college examination. So for our purpose, for King's admissions purpose, we have categorized the universities in India as highly prestigious and recognized. So our entry requirement will vary from high to 1, that's UK's high to 1 to UK's 2-1. So we look at the equivalent of that. Okay, so to see the equivalent, let's say you belong, you come from a highly prestigious university, let's say like Calcutta University or Delhi University or Madras University. Yeah, then we will ask for a high to 1, we will ask for an 8 on 10, yeah, or for a 2-1, we will ask for a 7.5 on 10. Okay. Similarly, the entry criteria will vary as per the categorization of your university from the King's perspective. This is not an Indian categorization. This is King's has categorized Indian universities this way. Right? So at the postgrad level, everybody has to write an English test. So all international students from India have to write an English test. So again, IELTS or TOEFL or the PT is what we look at. And there are specific scores that we ask for, depending on the course. Okay. Right. So for postgrad, you apply, with the help of your consultant or, you know, through the portal. I mean, there is no kind of centralized system of application. So it's essentially through the portal, application portal that is of King's. So we require just one reference. Most of our courses are now asking for just one reference. And if you have work experience beyond 5 years, then you can put in a professional reference only. Otherwise, you have to put in a academic reference. So your score sheets are important of your degree. All the score sheets that you have in your degree are important. Your language test, you can put in your language test after you submit your application, so that's fine. And a personal statement, a statement of purpose. Again, it's a one-page essay where we're looking at your motivation and your suitability and all that. Right, so applications open from 26th of from 26th of October, and it'll go on till 26th of March of 2021. Outcomes come, it takes a bit of time. So if you apply now, after another 6 to 8 weeks, you will get an outcome. Right? So what do we look for? Again, like I said, we look for degree scores, what you've performed in your degree, your personal statement, academic references, and the English language test scores, which is like you have to have it, or you have to have the score. So it's not an assessment, but it's compulsory. You just need to have those scores. Some courses may ask for a bit of work experience. It varies. Like for example, dental courses, we ask for 2 years or 3 years of work experience. Uh, uh, Most of the courses don't ask for work experience, but there could be exceptions here and there. If you have work experience, then a CV is good. Otherwise, you don't require a CV. If you've done a lot of internships or part-time work or whatever, you can put it in a CV, not a problem. Some courses ask for an additional essay, the English, it could be any English literature course, or it could be one of the social science courses where on global affairs or international relations and so on. So we have a winter school. Now, winter school is something that is going to be started in 2021, and the applications are now open. So this is for anybody who is between 15 to 17 years of age, right? So this is a 1-week online learning program. So online courses at King's are very popular from a very long time. So this is a new offering for this target group, this category of students, 15 to 17. So there are live seminars, there will be interactive kind of group activities, there will be on-demand sessions, and there will be university prep sessions, independent project, and so on. So it'll be a week of a lot of wonderful learning. There are 4 areas that you can choose. So liberal arts or business or health or law, politics, and so on. Now, the sessions will be from 15th to 19th of Feb. And the yeah, there will be some tuition fees as well, and an application fee, right? So obviously visas are not required because this is going to be completely online. Right, so we also have summer schools at King's. So for the undergrad summer school, undergrad meaning for those who are in 11th and 12th, right? So this is our regular um, pre-university summer school that we had for a long time now. So they are very popular. They get full very fast. So therefore, if you're interested, do look it up when you can and apply for it. These are this year's dates because the dates for next year haven't yet actually been updated. So usually it's held between June and July. Different subject areas are there. There are 2 sessions. This year it was held online. Next year we will see whether it's going to be online or a face-to-face or online and a face-to-face, right? So we're just waiting for those updates. Excuse me. And we also have summer school for those who are in college. So if you're in first year, second year, or third year or whatever, you could look at our university summer school. So this year there were 2 sessions, different subjects, there were fees, and there were application deadlines. So again, we are waiting for updates on these. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, we should see the latest dates for 2021. Right, so just to end with our information on UniBuddy. So UniBuddy is an online chat portal, which you can use the portal to connect with current students who are studying at King's, with staff, with academics. So it's a very useful portal to kind of uh, know more about the university, to find out information about a particular course. And I'm also there, my colleagues are also there. If there is any other information that you feel that we should be able to help you, so do message us through Unibuddy. Right, so this is really the end, and this is our email ID that you can be in touch with if you wish. If there are questions beyond the session, then please feel free to get in touch. So that is really the end. Sorry, I took longer than I thought. So go ahead. Please feel free to ask me some questions.
Right. Yeah, thank you so much, Dolan. We have been looking at the Q&A, which has been streaming through, and I'll just take them from the Q&A box first. Ridhima Lada has saying that she's got 94% in CBSE 10th and 87% in 12th state board. She wants to pursue law and has taken LNAT. I think, will my 12th score put me at a disadvantage? She's got
Yes.
87.2% and taken LNAT.
Sorry, I thought I saw the question.
You've covered that?
No,
it's
no,
in the, it's in
yeah,
the Q&A.
Yeah, I can see some questions, but I lost that one.
Okay.
So essentially, essentially, she's from the state board in standard 12, right?
Right, right.
So unfortunately, she will not be able to apply directly for LLB. She would have to,
Okay.
because she's from the state board, she would have to do the foundation year. So King's International Foundation is a 1-year program uh, that she would have to do if she's interested to study at King's, because she's from the state board.
In spite of getting a good LNAT score?
In spite of
In spite of that.
everything, yes, because it's the state board. We do not recognize the state board as yet for direct entry into year 1.
Right. Okay. Vinayak Pandey is saying, how much do I need in terms of from Tamil Nadu State Board class 12 for accounting and finance bachelors? Typically, what is the cutoff?
Yeah, so from state boards, I would say, I mean, 90%, 85% will, even 80% will make you eligible to study a King's International Foundation. But it is not an automatic progression on to year 1. You have to do well in the foundation year as well.
Right.
So we are really looking at high performing students from state board who can progress on to year 1, because you will have to match the entry requirement of
Right.
year. So you'll have to do well in foundation. Therefore, if you're maintaining about 90% in state boards, then apply. Don't apply if you are like getting,
So 90%.
I would say, I mean,
For direct,
although eligibility is there, but practically
right, right.
it's not right. It's, I don't think it's a good idea to apply if you have less than 85%.
So 85% cutoff for direct entry to the first year.
It's not a cutoff. It's my suggestion.
Right.
It's my suggestion,
Right.
because this is a practical suggestion.
Yes.
If you have less than that, usually
Right.
students do not make it to year 1 at all.
Right.
So they will have to go to another university
Right.
after the foundation year. Okay.
Sure.
So are there any
One
specific
for the
scholarships available for creative fields such as
yeah.
film, master's level? Yeah.
Yes.
So film studies is absolutely fabulous at King's. So both at the bachelor's and at the master's level, and we have a wonderful, connection with the British Film Institute. In fact, they have kind of designed the course. They've given their inputs to a large extent to design the courses in film studies at both the levels. And there are lots of other things which happen. A lot of film screenings happen, a lot of discussions happen with King students only. So scholarships are not available. At least till 2020, there were no scholarships for specifically film studies courses, right? So we have an MA in film studies. It doesn't have any scholarships.
Right.
But we have to wait for scholarship information. Scholarship information comes out a little late at King's. So from November onwards, we are hoping that the information will trickle in, and it doesn't come out in one shot. It comes out over the months. So you have to keep checking on the scholarship information.
Right. Right. We missed the earlier one from Yash saying role of extracurricular activities in undergrad.
Yes. So I would say that it plays, I mean, it doesn't play a part as such, but the thing is that in the essay, in the UCAS essay, if you are involved in, good extracurricular activities where you are achieving as well, you can devote up to 25% of the essay towards the extracurricular aspect of your profile. Okay. So maybe you're the captain of the football team or the cricket team or whatever. So, these are also, you learn so much from these activities. You learn, team building, team management, sense of discipline, and, decision-making skills. And so all these could be important for the subject that you're going to be studying. I mean, thinking creatively and so on and so forth. So it all depends on you, how you kind of link those activities with your academic interest. But if you're achieving at a very high level, for example, you're representing the country or the state maybe, or you've won a lot of awards at a high level. So definitely talk about talk about that achievement, and how it's not just about, okay, I won the top prize in this sport, but rather a reflective one, that, okay,
Right.
this is what I learned from this experience, and uh, you know, this may be useful for me to understand these things at university, or this particular course.
We have one from St. Xavier's
St.
College.
Xavier's, yes, it
Right.
follows the
That's right.
CGPA
Instead
scale
of
of
10
4
or 4.
instead of 10. Um, Again, 4 is something that we look at on a case-to-case basis, because it's a non-standard scale. So for sometimes we ask for 3.6 for where we ask for a high 2-1, and in some cases we can ask for 3.4, where we ask for a 2-1. Okay, so again, this 4 scale is also a bit tricky, because
Right.
it varies from institution to institution.
Right.
So Symbiosis, I think, also has a 4 scale. NMIMS has a 4 scale, and St. Xavier's also has a 4 scale, but their scales, the way they Christ University also has a 4 scale, but the way they will mark will be a little different. So that's why we take it on a case-to-case basis. But try to score as much as possible, as high as possible, because we're looking at the higher end.
Right. I think similar, is scholarships application separate, or are they considered automatically?
It depends on the scheme. So if you're looking at a King scholarship, if there's a scholarship on offer, uh, well, we've had scholarships where you are you don't have to apply separately, but most of the scholarships you have to apply additionally. So usually there's a link on the website itself. You have to open the link, fill up the form. It's all online. Answer the questions, write maybe a paragraph or two where they want something, a longer answer, right? So whatever be every scholarship scheme is a bit different. So we have to look at what is being asked.
Right. Right.
And of course, if it's an external scholarship, let's say the
Right.
Commonwealth or whatever, then you have to apply separately, obviously.
That's right. The GREAT or the British Council Scholarship, for example. Right. IBTP students, pre-university summer school eligibility. Will they be allowed to participate in this?
Sorry, which one?
IBTP
IBTP
students
students
in
who will
grade
start
11.
with. Yes, pre-university is for those who are like in 11th and 12th, standards 11th and 12th. So you can do that. Yeah, you can also, if you're like 50, if you're like 17, you can also do the winter school. You can do the summer school, the pre-university summer school. Yes, you will be allowed. Yes.
And what are the typical dates? Do they follow the A-level IB dates, or is it the Indian school dates in the UK, or for the summer school? Is it in July or August?
It's June and July.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, the pre-university are 2-week program. So the winter school is 1 week. The pre-university summer school for school is 2 weeks.
Okay.
And for the college students, it is 3 weeks. So I'll just yeah, go ahead.
I think similar on the statement of purpose. Any additional suggestions? I think you pretty much covered that. If you feel
statement of purpose. If you want, I can talk more if we have time.
Yes.
Because it is really very important, especially for
right. Or if you can circulate a link, we can send it out, or I can send it out later, because
yeah, we don't have a link for personal statement. We can of course, you can look at the university site. Every course, under every course, it's written very briefly what we ask for. Essentially, we are looking at in a personal statement, the tutor is. So, what does a tutor want to see? I mean, in the essay, what is he looking at? So, essentially, your motivation to study, or your reason to select that particular subject area or that particular course, if you are a postgrad student, right? So if you're an undergrad student, it's the subject area is fine, because obviously you cannot talk of a particular course if you're applying to more than one university. But for a postgrad student, you're writing the essay for that particular university only, and
Right.
not others. So
Right.
therefore, the course becomes important. So what is your motivation to study that particular subject area or course? What makes you suitable for it, right? So what are your skills and competencies? Do you are you engaged with the subject area? Yeah.
Right.
How keen and passionate you are. So do you kind of pursue the subject beyond your curriculum? Do you pursue it beyond your school or college, right? So maybe you read or you write, or you have done your research, you're published your research as well, or maybe you have just follow newspapers, you follow TED Talks, you follow public
Right.
lectures. I mean, there are so many things that one can do.
Right.
Maybe you've done one or two
Right.
internships. So what and,
Sure.
and of course the course, whether the course, I mean, how this course will help you achieve your career objectives or academic objectives.
Right.
So why is this going to, and how is this going to help you in the future? So these are the basic things that we are trying to understand. And if you're a postgrad student, we also want to see what your career motivations are. I mean, what your career plan is, or
Right.
what is it that you want to do in the future. Yeah, something like
Right.
that. I mean,
Sure.
it's there's no hard and fast rule really. These are on on the whole,
Right.
these are the things that we would like to see in the
Right.
essay.
Niharika Prasad is inquiring about what is the plan for next year's learning on campus and methodology of hybrid or online.
Yeah, that
Any updates?
we'll have to wait a bit for
We'll have
that.
to wait.
I know it's a question on on a lot of people's minds, and even we are eagerly waiting to see what the senior management decides in terms of online or hybrid or online and face to face.
Right.
Yeah, so let's wait
Right.
a bit.
Yeah, we need to wait for that. I think that's fine. Niharika also has a question on weightage of IGCSEs for biomedical
I
sciences.
IGCSEs, it I mean, those who have IGCSEs, we will,
Right.
for certain courses, we will either ask for maths 6 or a B, or English 6 or a B. In certain cases, it could be a 7, right? So it only if you have a
Right.
IGCSE, GCSEs, and
Right.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Hemlata is inquiring about, is Neet recommended mandatory for medicine?
No, Neet is not. Neet is an Indian thing.
It's not
It's
necessary.
completely not required for
Right.
any overseas education,
Right.
at least not UK.
So do you, right? Yeah, and you don't consider it in case they've done it.
Sorry?
Do you consider Neet in case they've done it as an additional
No, we don't.
qualification? No, you don't. Okay. Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can write in your essay
I
that,
think this,
if you've gone like
right,
super high percentage or whatever, you can write in your essay as an
right,
achievement, but
right,
that's about it.
right, right. Since I'm on the MBBS, let me just take up a related one from Sanketa Saha, saying, is SAT required? Does it help? With
No, that is not
94%
required.
in ICSE, SAT
No,
not
if you,
required.
yeah, we will only look
Um,
at the board that you're pursuing, not additional SAT scores.
right. Okay. So things again, let's have a look for MSc Health Psychology. Typical cutoffs for MSc Health Psychology and MSc Psychology.
We
I
have
think you mentioned
25
that in your
specializations. Yeah. So psychology, we have
right,
loads of specializations. I think almost 25 now. So
right,
different courses. So health psycho. See, mostly these we ask for, let's say a 2-1. Mostly we ask for a 2-1, and there could be a high 2-1 here or there. Again, depends on where the student is
right,
studying, which university the student is
right,
studying.
right.
We could ask
Yes,
for an 8 or a 7.5
5, which is out of 10. Right,
on 10.
on 10. Right. Okay. Just trying to take the relevant. Do you consider maths for psychology? I guess maths is required for for psychology
No, I
undergrad?
did mention that in my
I said,
presentation that uh, for psychology we are okay with any of the sciences. Okay, so either maths or physics or chemistry or biology at the high level, if it's an IB student or A level, whatever. Um, any one of these science subjects are good. For IB, we will ask for a
right,
6 at the HL level. Maths, either A or AI will do. Only if you're doing an engineering course or a physics course or a maths course, then the AA of maths will be
right,
required. Rest,
right,
whatever AI is fine.
right. Noor Kundur inquiring about additional English language tests if they are an IB English student.
Not required. Mostly not required.
Not required,
Yeah.
mostly not required. Right.
So there's a question on how science-centric is the psychology major. Well, psychology is,
Yes,
our psychology is a science-based psychology, all right? So it's not, it's a full, it's not a social science. I mean, the essence is scientific completely. So of course, because we are
right,
multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, there will be social science elements as well, but it has a scientific kind of essence throughout the degree. Uh, so that's why it is compulsory for you to have either any one of the science subjects, yeah, or psychology. Okay,
right,
so
right,
but those who have done psychology at the school level, they've mostly done it, I think, at like from a social science angle, which doesn't kind of put them in an advantage. I would say
right,
rather if you have a biology or a chemistry or a maths or physics, that scientific bent of mind is required. You know, you're not
right,
you've got some research skills, or you have that. You know, if you're scared of science or you hate maths or something like that, then taking up psychology at King's is not a great idea.
right, right, right. Um, just trying to see if we have got similar questions which we have not covered. Ishita Sinha, ISC student taking computer maths with psychology commercial art. Can she apply for computer science undergraduate?
As long as you have computer science, yes.
If she's
At,
done computer
at,
science at class
at,
12 ISC, that's fine.
yes.
Sohani Kanorkar inquiring about art courses entry requirements.
What? Sorry.
Art courses, undergraduate courses in art.
Art we
Any
don't
specific?
have.
You don't specifically have
We don't have
art
fine
course.
arts or art kind of. We have media culture, digital culture, very strong courses, but not like a fine art, art
Right,
and
right.
design. We
As
don't do
media
art and
art
design.
related, media art related courses. Okay. I think ranking, which you have already covered, worldwide ranking for KCL for business management.
Yeah,
I think
ranking is 31 in the world right
world,
now, as per QS World University ranking, 7th in the UK and 3rd in London.
right. Yes.
So there is a question on what kind of traits are you looking for in future
Right.
KCL students, if I may take that up.
Yes, please.
I think this is a good question. Yes, we are looking for students who like stand apart a bit. Okay, they have an edge. Um, you know, they are kind of very keen on the subject. You know, they're just not merely good students. So there are lots of students who are good in everything, but they're
Right.
not necessarily focused on, let's say, if they want to do a history, then it's not that they're focused on history, or if they want to do a psychology, they're not necessarily focused on psychology or whatever, right? So we want to see that the student is engaged with the subject area that they want to pursue at the degree level, so in school as well as out of school, right? So if you do things related to psychology beyond your curriculum, then that's great. You know, like I was saying, I mean, you've done your own research or you've done your own readings, you read a lot, I mean, if you're interested in finance and you're just reading the Economic Times newspaper, every day and following trends. That's fantastic. You learn so much from that as well. And it's not just about doing that activity, but you know, reflecting on what you've picked up, what aspects you've you have gained, and what perspectives you
Right.
have understood, things like that. You know, what skills maybe you develop analytical skills, and your quant skills are also sharpened, whatever. I mean, it really, it's wide range of things that you can do. So we
Right.
are looking for those kind of students who are also engaged in, let's say, school activities, some club activities, you organize things, or you're part of things that you're doing for the community, right? Maybe you are also, you have good communication skills, therefore, which is evident from your debating that you've done in school, or MUNs that you may have participated in, or maybe you've done some mooting in your college,
Right.
if you're looking for law programs. And so all these things kind of give us a sense that the student is
Right.
not only academically bright, but also, interested in the subject, is passionate about the subject. That is the kind of student we look for, because you need students who think creatively,
Right.
who have a wider perspective of the subject, and then just on bookish knowledge.
Right. There's a student from Delhi University studying bachelor's in psychology, keen for master's, inquiring about a master's and if it's BPS accredited, and what is the accreditation process, if any.
Sorry, I didn't get the question. What
Uh,
is the thing about
uh,
accreditation?
for a master's in psychology,
Yeah.
is it BPS accredited?
Yeah, so we have, uh, we look for certain, for example, for health psychology, we will require students to have studied courses which are BPS accredited. So yeah, we are all part of the
Right.
part of the accreditation, that's there. But when we are recruiting students, or we
Right.
are looking at students for our postgraduate courses, then also we look at whether the student
Certain.
is doing a course which is BPS accredited. So
Okay.
they have to check through
Right.
the BPS site whether their course can be considered as
Right.
equivalent to that.
Right. Okay. Just trying to see if we've covered most of the issues.
And also,
Um,
one thing about our psychology, our Institute of
yes.
Psychiatry, Psychology and Neuroscience,
Yes. Yes.
IOPPN, it
Yes.
produces the largest research in the world. So it is the department, the research element of the department is considered second best in the world after Harvard. So
Right.
it is a very, very prestigious institution. It's an institution in itself. Lots of people
Right.
know about more about IOPPN than about King's in the psychology fraternity.
Right.
So, and
Right.
we also have a mental health hospital along with our psychology department. So very few universities have that. And overall, we have 4 hospitals.
Right. Right. Question is ESS at A levels looked at as a science subject for psychology? Environmental systems and societies, A levels. I guess it's not.
No, no.
Not considered, right? Um, uh, any recommended ideal UCAT score for medicine? I do know
No,
it's confidential anyway, isn't it? So,
unfortunately not. Yeah, I mean, we used to publish a kind of a previous scores that were
right,
acceptable at King's, but this we have stopped that because there's such a variation, and it's kind of, it's misleading a bit. So uh,
right,
we don't publish that anymore. Just do as well as you can, and you'll get a sense that whether you should apply for King's with that score. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean, applying for medicine is tricky because
Yes,
you have to really keep very practical backups
yes,
when
yes,
you're looking at an aspirational choice.
yes. How
So
many international places are typically available or
uh,
for the medicine
about
program?
30.
Around 30. And
But
typically,
remember, now EU students are also part of the international
I see.
cohort. So
Also, be more
I think
competitive.
it's going to become super competitive. Although EU students with the fee hike, I doubt whether a lot of EU students will come in,
Right.
but it will still increase the number of applicants.
Right. Ekam Goel, is any scholarships for business management courses, undergraduate?
No, there aren't any. There weren't any last year. We have to wait for scholarship information for this year.
Okay, I'll just make a note. I think similar question on scholarships for physics, masters in physics.
No, we only had at the undergrad level. We only had scholarship for global health and social medicine last year.
All right.
So scholarships are very few and far between at the undergrad.
Right.
At the undergrad.
Okay. So I'm just trying to see. I'm wary of the time. We'll just take as much as we can in the next couple of minutes. And I'm just looking at the chat. I think we may have missed a few questions in the chat.
Okay. Fees and living expenses. Fees will vary a bit depending on the course that you're going to be studying. So it could be like from 21,000 pounds to 28,000 pounds or so. Yeah, so that could be the range. Yeah, and living expenses, we would say minimum of 15,000 pounds per annum. Yeah.
Right.
London is a little more expensive than outside of London, so you have to budget. But it costs about 2 lakhs to 3 lakhs more to stay in London, so you have to budget it accordingly.
Right. Just looking at the chat, I think psychology seems to be quite popular again. Similar, maths is not a requirement, but he's keen on psychology, and is it necessary in HL? I think you've already answered that. It's not mandatory, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind repeating that.
Yes, no, that's fine. I think we have already covered that.
Good.
I think there's issues, questions around SOPs, whether MUNs and debates should be mentioned. I think you've covered that.
Yes,
From
yes.
Ranvir Singh. Just trying to see if there's any specific issues which we have missed out.
There's a question on scholarships, whether it's merit-based or need-based.
Yes.
It's usually merit-based.
Merit-based.
Yeah, I mean, at the postgrad level, there is a need-based scholarship as well for law. Whether that will be there this year, we don't know. But usually at the undergrad level and the postgrad level, most of the scholarships are merit-based. There could be 1 or 2 at the postgrad level which are need-based.
Right. I think it's just a broader question. How important is GCSEs in making decisions on applications?
Yeah, that I think we covered that. Yeah, if you have GCSEs, then we will look at certain scores depending on the course that you've applied to. But if not, then we wouldn't look at that.
Right.
But do look at the 10 scores, whether it's CBSE, ISC, whatever. We do look at the 10 scores.
Right.
But in order of importance, it is not at the top.
Right. How flexible are you on conditional offers?
No, we are not. We are not very flexible. So I mean, don't go with the viewpoint of flexibility, because flexibility is very tricky at King's. You know,
yes.
We have competitive courses where we're not flexible at all. Conditional offers, you have to meet the conditions of offer. Again, there could be a case-to-case thing where you have a 775 and we're asking for 766. Then we will see. It all depends on that year's number of applications and who has got what. So admissions can take a decision only when they have all the results and so on and so forth. So it can get a bit tricky for me to answer it right now.
Right. So based on the holistic application at that time.
So what is system for switching from a BSc to MSc after admission? So I think he means an MSci. So there are some courses that we have as a BSc and an MSci. So MSci is something where you start at the undergrad level and you finish up with almost a postgrad degree. So certain courses like in physics or in life sciences, we offer an MSci as well. So in life sciences, we have a group of like 8 life science courses, where whatever you want to study, you have to do a common year one. You go to the common year one, and then you can take a decision to change the major or even to switch to an MSci. So again, depends on the course. Not every course in that group also has an MSci offering. So it depends on what you want to do.
Right. I think we'll take up any specific questions separately and perhaps request you for an update. I think I've covered, broadly speaking, most of the questions, and I'm aware of the time and any questions.
So there was this question on
which you feel you want to pick up.
I'm the vice captain of my house at school.
Yes.
Will that certificate help in getting up in the? So no, we don't. You can't. I'm assuming you're applying for a UG course. So
yes.
To the UCAS, you cannot upload anything. Nothing. It's just online portal where you type in information. And again, through the King's admissions portal, we don't ask for any certificates apart from the English language, right? And your final scores. So for IB, of course, it goes directly and all that. For CBSE, IC, you can upload your scores through the online portal. So no certificates are required. No certificates of any participation in any extracurricular activities is required. That's why that personal statement becomes important. You have to mention it, right? We don't want to see evidence, but if you're not genuine, it's very easy for the admissions tutor to understand that it is something you may have made up, because they read hundreds of essays every day, and it takes them a second to figure out the authenticity of the essay.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Right.
Is that good?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll review any issues or questions which we may have missed. I think a quick sweep through, I think we've covered everything. Thank you for your time, Dolan and Palak. And we will circulate back to you with the people who attended and the ones who perhaps didn't attend on the questions that they've asked, and is anything to be followed up on. I think on closing, is there anything in terms of which you would like to mention in terms of?
Yeah, so the undergrad students, I would say I mean, a good time to apply is now till, I would say, I think mid-December, till mid-December is a good time to apply. Yes. Don't keep it till the last date, 15th of January. Yeah. Lots of students apply on 15th of January, and every year there are some students whose application do not go through, and they miss out on their opportunity. So please be mindful of that. Don't apply on the last date, and do your research very well. I mean, look at the websites, find out Unibuddy, chat, message, this, that, and the other, find out about the information. And we have seminars as well. So we have, you can, so Palak, are you able to put that GECO form that we had?
Yes, Dolan, I put that thrice there. So I'll just put that once again,
yes,
right?
Please fill that form so that we can invite you for our information sessions, and we can also King's will provide you information specifically for that particular course that you are looking for, things like that. So it's if you want to, it's not compulsory. If you want to be in touch with King's for these kind of information and more, then do fill that up so that we can be in touch.
Right. And you mentioned for master's courses, are the application fees mandatory for all courses?
Application fee is there for all courses.
For all courses, okay. Yeah. And it's rolling admissions, and typical deadlines are in March.
End of March, yes.
End of March. So early applications are encouraged.
That's right. For postgrad, it's different. Applications are open now, and till 26th of March, you could apply. See, courses are open beyond that as well, but we don't know for now which courses will be open. Even at the undergrad level, some courses remain open beyond that, but again, not sure which ones.
Right.
And it's really good to submit your application within the deadline, because suppose you're applying for a scholarship which has come up, they always want to see an application within the deadline. So those who have applied, let's say by 26th of March for a postgrad course, only they will be eligible for that scholarship.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's always good to kind of apply within deadlines.
Yeah, so we encourage early applications.
Yeah, and also we have for the postgrad students, if they are if there are any international relations or politics, or even related courses, we have a fabulous talk coming up at King's by Professor Harsh Pant. He's quite a figure in global affairs, and he's a professor at King's. So if you want to know about international relations, and he will be talking about the Sino-Indian border crisis and talking about international relations as well. So do join in. We have a link for that. Palak,
Yes, Dolan, I've just posted.
It's been circulated by Palak.
Great. So great. If you guys are even undergrad students, I mean, you're most welcome. Whoever is interested in this subject area, we would be happy to have them register for this.
Right.
Ranvir, you could also join.
Well, thank you for that. Yes, absolutely. I think I certainly will. Wonderful. Sure. And this will be taken on. This will be taken online, and I think the link will have all the relevant details. All right. Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, Dolan, and thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you,
we shall connect again. Thank you, Palak.
Thanks.
Right. Thank you so much, Ranvir. Real pleasure, as usual. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time. Sure. Bye-bye.
My pleasure.